Hey, welcome back to the channel. Things have been interesting, as I know all of you know. Even before we kind of went into this time of social distancing and all these terms that are brand new to us that we've never heard before, or at least never thought about anyway. My job was just super busy, and we just had a lot of things going on and big projects that we were delivering, and it just seemed to be really difficult to get out and spend much time painting. And then since then things have been even busier, and but today's Easter, and so happy Easter to all of you. And I decided to just kind of hang out on my balcony here and do some painting. And I had been taking a few photographs as I've been around, and so I've got a bit of a setup going here. I got my easel here, and I'm going to show you kind of an angle where you'll be able to see the color mixing. I've got my my laptop here with the photograph that I'm going to be working from. There's a lot of glare on it from that angle, but yeah, and it's unusual, but it's cool. I mean, I'll get squared away here, and it's just nice to be back. Nice to be back painting today. It's interesting when I have these seasons of not painting a lot. I'm usually like studying painting, and if I can't paint, I'm at least reading and looking at pictures. And I've been kind of studying trees a lot lately and stuff like that. So, which is really interesting that I'm studying trees when I'm surrounded by all this water. And my last two paintings were nautical, and today is no different. It's going to be nautical as well. But anyway, yeah, I think it's probably good for you. I'm supposing that it's good for you. I mean, I'm sure it probably is good for you to study and stuff. But there's no substitute for mixing paint and putting it on a panel. You can read about it all you want, but until you actually do it, it doesn't really take effect in here until you see how things actually happen. But I'm going to show you what I've got today for a palette. Kind of using a limited palette today. I have a permanent yellow, and I'm using alizarin crimson, and then I've been wanting to try this. It's a quinacridone violet, and I'm going to give that a try today. So it's strictly on the palette just to experiment with, and then I have ultramarine blue, and then I have phthalo green yellow shade, and then titanium white, of course. So somewhat limited for me, but the subject matter doesn't require a whole lot. There's violets and there's grays and some greens and a lot of white, so I think it's all good. We've got decent light. It's really nice out here today, so yeah, I'll get a sketch going and get cracking. And I've got it's definitely time for a new rosemary #2 ultimate bristle. I just go through these like crazy. I tend to wear them out, so I think I put a new #4 and a new #2 in there. I've kind of worn them both out lately. That's how they start, and of course that's how they end up eventually. So get a little bit into a filbert or something. But anyway, yeah, cool. I'll get going, and we'll see we'll see how this goes. All right. Well, right now this probably looks more like a mess than a sketch, but I'll see if I can't make some sense out of all this. I think I got the boat probably a little bit too far forward, but I think it's okay. I'm just gonna start out. I'm just gonna get this kind of darker area in the water, and I'm gonna mix some ultramarine and some. I'm gonna get it super dark, about as dark as I can get, and then I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna add some green into it, just to richen it up. It's a little alizarin crimson and some ultramarine blue, and then I want to take that toward a darker color. And I think what happened here is I came forward, then here it starts going underneath here. Just a touch more green in that. We've got more blues and grays kind of down underneath the dock here. And this one is you get a little orange, a little red, get kind of a grayish blue here. I'm just going to come in with that. Okay, so I've got a few things to figure out here. I the boat itself was just getting a little bit too kind of squatty, so I had to kind of get, and it was not going exactly parallel to the dock, so I needed to just get some reference lines in here and kind of figure out where this I think once this bow part comes in from the other side, it actually comes in here at a little bit of a steeper angle. I think it comes in more like it comes from under here and comes more like this, more like this. Yeah, and then this one comes down this way, and then sort of in to meet it here. And then there's kind of a water line area that's down in here. And the point where that meets the water is actually just forward of the center mark right here. This is actually the center. So that's about the right spot right there. Just forward of there. I think I can work with that. Whoops. All right, so let's keep rolling. Just gonna show you what my palette looks like to this point. It's just green and blue and purple and gray. Yeah, actually I'm kind of digging this this limited palette so far. We'll see how we go as we move along, but so far I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. All right, so I've got, I'm just gonna kind of fix just a couple more things. I made this comment recently to Orion Miles that I was wishing I could paint with the kind of abstraction that he was painting with. So obviously I've been thinking a lot about it. And actually I did pretty good with this one. I didn't get all crazy and really focus on too much detail. But I just want to tie the boat to the dock there. This particular rope doesn't exist, but I think it really needs one in there. It would help a lot. And then a couple of highlights and things in here. I'm gonna have a kind of a rope coming off the bow just over to a cleat over here, and then I just have just a couple of other little things to tend to, like this is wrong right here, so I got to fix that, and which will actually help kind of set the boat off too. So yeah, so let me knock that out, and then we'll wrap this one up. Cool. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna stop before I go crazy. Really kind of enjoyed the limited palette. It's not something I do very often, but it was kind of fun to challenge myself with that. And so I'll show you what we've got here. Yeah, it's really pretty interesting. There's some things about it that I totally dig. So. That's a good thing. And yeah, so if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe and follow along, and hit the little bell so you don't miss anything. And it feels really good to be painting today. I mean, I'm outdoors, but not really. But it doesn't matter. I mean, painting is painting, right? But anyway, I was going to say at the beginning that I kind of forgot to, when you're painting from a photograph, the thing you have to do is you have to make sure that you're reacting to the photograph and not painting the photograph. And so that's kind of what I try and do. I try and make myself squint a lot and really kind of abstract it, and then imagine what the day was like when I took the picture, and what attracted me to it in the first place. And so you can actually get a nice painting as if you were outdoors looking at a photograph, as long as you don't get too caught up in painting exactly what you see. You sort of have to interpret it and like I said, kind of react to it. But anyway, thanks so much for following along. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you later.